Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us here today. I would like to take my time here today and I would like to share with you 5 essential tips so you can cloud like a boss. And those tips are all about taking control over your cloud operations and leveraging infrastructure as code in order to boost your efficiency, your reliability, and your governance. So let's get started. But before we start, a short intro about me. My name is Gal. I'm a product manager at Firefly, which is a cloud automations platform. And we help DevOps and platform engineering teams to efficiently manage their cloud environments by adopting IAC infrastructure as code for their entire cloud footprint. I'm also a former DevOps, so I've been through the trenches that you're currently facing, and I like coffee. Really, really like coffee. But we're here in order to talk about some tips to master your cloud like a boss. So let's get into it. The first tip is track your IC coverage. This is one of the biggest blind spots in cloud operations today. So, with so many ways in order to provision resources today into your cloud, like different tools and teams, and of course, we have also the ClickOps. So, it's easy to lose track of which resources are actually managed by code. And what exactly is IC coverage? So, it's essentially a measure of how much of your cloud infrastructure is actually codified and managed through IAC practices, of course, rather than the manual configurations. So tracking your IAC coverage gives you a solid indicator of your cloud's health, and it's also serving as a KPI for your operational maturity. And breaking down IAC coverage is crucial because every cloud resource should have its IAC status. And this status tells you whether a resource is codified, like meaning managed and synced, which one is drifted, which means indicates a drift between your IC and what's running in the cloud, or which one is unmanaged, meaning it's not managed by code at all. And drift is the critical concept here because it happens when the actual state of the resource deviates from what's defined in your IC. And that can occur due to manual changes, automatic cloud processes, or even third party integrations that do those changes. So, tracking these statuses will allow you to detect drifts early and to maintain your control. And to dive deeper into it, think about how IC coverage impacts your cloud security and compliance. So, if a resource is not codified, it might be invisible to your automated checks and thus compliance audits. And this lack of visibility can lead to unexpected costs, to vulnerabilities, or even policy violations. And that's why tracking your IC coverage isn't just about knowing what's managed, it's also about maintaining a comprehensive, a compliant, and secure environment. Moving on to tip number two, audit ClickOps operations. Now, despite our best efforts to move towards automations, ClickOps, the practice of manually configuring cloud resources through the Cloud Console, it still happens. And it's vital to keep an eye on these operations and auditing who has manual access and what actions they can actually perform. So, by maintaining this detailed audit of ClickOps activity, you can pinpoint exactly which resources or services are being manually managed, and you can identify areas where you should transition to a modern IAC approach. And this audit is actually acting as a guide to reduce all the manual interventions and improve your automations. And taking it a step further, think about the challenges that ClickOps introduces. I mean, manual configurations increase the risk of human errors. It's also creating potential security gaps, configuration inconsistencies. So by auditing ClickOps, you can gain insights into operational patterns and you can implement stricter controls like RBAC, role-based access, for instance. and that will mitigate those risks. Moving on to tip number 3, generate IAC from your existing cloud resources. Once you've identified those unmanaged resources and those that are being configured manually, the next step is codifying them. And this process involves generating IAC manifests for existing cloud resources or integrating them into your existing modules. Now, there are both open source and commercial tools to help you with this process. And automating the codification actually ensures that the legacy infrastructure doesn't remain unchallenged. Okay, don't keep the legacy infrastructure unmanaged. So increasing your overall IAC coverage, maintaining your consistency across all your environments will help. So let's break this down even a bit further. When transitioning your legacy environments, it's crucial to prioritize high impact resources, those critical for operations or compliance. And automating the codification process not only saves you time, but it also ensures accuracy. So you'll probably eliminate configuration drifts and you'll reduce the likelihood of human error when you're redeploying resources. Moving on to tip number 4, identify and remediate those IAC drifts. Remember we talked about drifts? Let's revisit that concept just for a sec. So we said drift is inevitable. Okay, it happens during breaking glass scenarios. It happens when third-party tools update your cloud without syncing back to your IAC. You need to be alerted when those happen, and you need to have a remediation strategy in place. Your two options are to reconcile the cloud state with the IAC, or update your IAC to reflect the current state of your cloud. And if you aim for a zero drift policy, you should consider using crossplane, for instance, as your control plane, because it automatically reconciles changes. But just be mindful that this approach works well for specific scenarios where you expect dynamic changes. Think about the implications here. If you're not actively managing your drifts, your infrastructure can gradually become misaligned. It will lead to failures, it can lead to security issues, and more. So have a proactive approach. Not only minimizes the risk, but it also supports the operational resilience of your infrastructure. And the last tip for today, automate IAC scanning with shift left guardrails. Embedding the scanning into your CI/CD pipeline is crucial in order to maintain security and compliancy across your cloud environments. And shift left guardrails will allow you to catch the issues early. If you incorporate checks for security and compliance, you can ensure best practices are implemented. It can provide you with cost forecasting, tagging coverage verification, approval flows directly in your IAC pipeline. So shift left your guardrails. And by doing so, you'll ensure the best practices are followed, but it happens straight from the development stage. So it will reduce all the chances for misconfigurations that will probably slip into your production if you don't set it as shift left as you can. And to double down on this point, think about the practical outcomes. Fewer security incidents, faster CI/CD pipelines, you get smoother compliance audits. So automating these checks actually empowers the developers to catch the issues before they hit production. It will minimize downtime, it will reduce manual reviews, and more. So just to wrap up the key takeaways from what we've talked about, the 5 tips on how to help you cloud like a boss. First of all, track your IAC coverage. You'll ensure that all your cloud resources are managed through IAC, through code. It will reduce configuration drifts. It also will maintain consistency. Next up, audit the ClickOps operation. It will help you identify all the manual changes that can introduce errors or unmanaged configurations. It will improve security and also improve your compliance. Next up, generate your IAC from existing cloud resources. Remember that it will transfer your legacy from manual configurations into codified resources. It will increase automation and it will reduce the maintenance efforts. Remember to identify and remediate your IC drifts. It will keep your cloud state aligned with the desired configurations. It will minimize the operational risks. It will minimize the unexpected behavior. Remember to automate your IC scanning with shift left guardrails, because embedding those security and compliance checks early in the CI/CD pipeline will reduce the risk of misconfigurations in productions, and that's what we want. So following these practices will significantly improve the efficiency and the reliability of your cloud infrastructure. And last, I want to thank you for your time today. And if you'd like to learn more about Firefly and how we help you achieve those goals, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can use the QR code on the screen, and let's keep clouding like a boss.